In this part of the DVD, I just want to talk about how solid-scape machines deliver the material. To actually run a solid-scape machine, you really should know how the machine works to start with. Over the many years I've installed these machines, I've seen some weird and wonderful things people have done. Things like poured the wrong wax into the wrong tank, trying to save money by using old wax and recycling it, clogging the jets, not tightening the caps down after filling the tanks. The list goes on and on. The material delivery starts from the tank and the reservoir at the back of the machine. The tank is pressurised by an air pump. The pressure pushes the wax up a tube into a cup. Before the wax gets to the cup, it goes through a filter which filters out the minute particles that can cause havoc clogging the jets. This cup height is very important. If you take a direct line between the cup and the jet, the cup is a little bit lower. The difference in height between the two causes a siphoning effect. That makes the wax always run back into the tube after your side purge. If you ever see wax coming out of the tube after your side purge, or for even that matter, drips on the build plate during a build, it's usually caused by air on the tank side of the machine getting into the line. This air breaks the siphoning effect and the wax runs towards the jet. There's a couple of reasons this could happen. One is it runs out of wax, simple as that. It also could be a silicone hose clogged in the back of the machine. These hoses deliver the air from the pump to the tank. Therefore, the cup doesn't get filled properly. This creates air on the tank side of the line and breaks the siphoning effect, or the clogged hose fails to release the pressure in the tank and continues to push the wax out. I've found there's a bit of a misconception of how the jet gets fed. It actually doesn't get fed by the air pressure from the pump. All that pump does is create pressure to fill the cup. From there on, the jet takes over. Now here's where the magic happens. The jets run on an electric current. This feeds a small item inside called a piezo. The piezo actually pulsates, delivering the material through the orifice of the jet onto the job. The wax is delivered out of these jets in droplets, not in a stream like you think, giving more accuracy and better part quality. Now, back to that thing we all love to do, side purging. A lot of people ask me, do we have to do this every 48 hours? Yes, you do. The 3 ml of air you put back into the jet after purging all the air out acts like a shock absorber, taking the edge off the piezo's pulsations. The voltage I spoke about that runs the piezo comes from a jet fireboard and down this white ribbon line to the jet. These cables bend and move so much over the years. Sometimes there's a small crack in one of the wires internally and they need to be replaced. One of the signs of this is an intermittent jet fire. It may fire over near the jet check station, but it may not over the build. The amount of voltage coming from the jet fireboard to the jet is determined by the machine when it does its calibration. If the machine's running too lean, it analyses this and turns the voltage up. If too rich, it will turn it down. Now to sum up, a couple of these things will sound really stupid and obvious, but over the years, as I said before, it's happened. Keep wax in the tank, and after you've finished putting wax in the tank, tighten the cap up. A lot of people have been caught out by that one. Yeah, I know it's painful, but side purge every 48 hours. One other thing, when you push the syringe in, don't push too fast. Air can leak out of the syringe, giving it less than 3 ml. And make sure you put the cap on reasonably quickly. If you leave it off, that siphoning effect drags air back into the jet. One other thing I can't stress enough is always use solid-scape wax. There's other inferior brands of wax around that when used, it's causing build quality problems and or clogging of jets. But most of all, if you use this wax in solid-scape machines or jets, any sort of warranty you had will be void. You may or may not know all this, but I know for a fact understanding these machines make them a lot easier to use.